Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a great Civil War fan who enjoys reading and watching films about it. The American Civil War is one of my favorite periods, so when I was 12, I persuaded my parents to let me reenact as a member of an Ohio regiment. I enjoyed playing the Union side and always learning more about the war, and I made a lot of wonderful friends in the process. I had a buddy called Ed who reenacted as a Virginia unit and would often try to get me to join them. So when I was 17, I contacted him because I wanted to start reenacting as a Confederate as a second impression. When I phoned him, he stated he would assist me. He also said that he was planning a living history event on the Gettysburg Battlefield and wanted me to join him. I was successful in convincing my parents to let me leave. I was overjoyed. This would be my first night spending the night at an event. We gathered early Friday morning and traveled to Gettysburg. The whole voyage was loaded with reenactment and historical tales. It was a lot of fun. We arrived at 7:30 a.m. and met up with the rest of the men in the unit. I stood there and spoke to these men, getting to know them. Let's name the group's leader Jack. He was a wonderful and amusing guy. There were a few more males, including one called Thomas. During an operation with the Marines in Afghanistan, he had been in several dangerous circumstances. Let me now explain where we capped it. During the conflict, it was known as Spangler Spring. It was a battleground. The Confederate Army raced over it to assault the Union's Hill Spring, and neighboring Rock Creek became scarlet with the blood of the dead and dying. It was a challenging spot to camp. As we were setting up camp, the park ranger in charge of the program came by and briefed us about what we would be doing the following day in terms of public interaction. He also said that there have been threats to demolish and deface monuments. He urged us to be cautious because these individuals were serious business. As a result, we decided to establish a picket duty, which included standing watch with a fixed bayonet. We dressed in historical attire and kindled the bonfire. We distributed the beer and liquor around. Before crawling into our tents, we were all fooling about, laughing, and exchanging tales. I'd gotten the short end of the stick and was given the second shift of the night. This meant I'd sleep briefly before waking up for security duty as I made my way to my tent. Jake grabbed me aside and told me not to go near Rock Creek if fog began to form. I was perplexed and asked him why. He just answered, "You don't want to know." Around 3 o'clock in the morning, I crawled into my pup tent with an uneasy all right. I was walking down the street when I felt a pull on my boot. Thomas was the one.